these young men into the game and give Nick Brown some running experience and Rashad Reed and so forth. So with the schedule that we have played this year, there wasn't too many opportunities to do that, and I just welcomed the opportunity to get them on the field the other night.
We talked last week about the team going through the big games with the big guns in the Quad East Conference. Then you got into Fox Chapel, and we talked maybe a bit of a letdown. Just going into the final 2 weeks with perhaps an advantage where last week you wrapped up a playoff spot. Now win this Friday night, you're going to wrap up the Quad East, you're going to win the conference, right. And then if you do win Friday night next week, you also have the possibility of going 10-0. So in the back-to-back weeks, there is also a little bit of an incentive.
Well, you have to look for incentives at this particular time. Last week was a tough one, and we went hard at it in practice, and the kids responded very well. And we played a very good game against Fox Chapel. Coming off the Central Catholic game, the big crowd, the hype of playing in a Duquesne, a big-time matchup media-wise and so forth, to come to a Fox Chapel team that's winless in the conference, very small on paper. That was the motivation week for us, that we really had to get the kids up, and we kind of think that this team is a little bit different than teams in the past because they understand and they play well. This week against Kiski, Kiski is 10 plays away from being 5-1 or 4-1 in the conference. They are very capable of beating any team, and we've shown the young men the film so they can see what these kids have the potential to do. Playing at Davis Field is a very difficult thing to do, and like you said, the chance to solidify the #1 spot in the conference are all factors. But the bottom line is, how bad do they want it, and how badly are they going to work to execute, to work towards that undefeated team. It's not going to be handed to them, that's for sure.
You talked about the Cavaliers, and Friday night you go into one of the oldest venues in the WPIL, and that being Davis Field in Vandergrift. You're going up against a very talented Kiski team that got a couple of quick little running backs, and they also have a talented receiver in Tony Chin. Lately, teams really haven't tried to test you through the air, but what is the addition of Charles Britt in the secondary done to perhaps slow other teams' passing games down?
Well, Charles gives us two things that we didn't have. Number one, height. You know, Victor and Dwayne and Damian Germany and Donnie Chichilla. You know, these kids are outstanding defensive backs. Nick Brown, you could throw him in there also. Outstanding defensive backs, but they're small. And to go against a 6'5" receiver, so it's just nice to have Charis back there to add that little extra dimension. The second thing Charis does for us is gives us an opportunity to have one more person play in the secondary to get Victor and Dwayne and those people out of there. So Charis has been a godsend, a tribute to his athletic ability. He's only played football since after camp, and you know, he's a basketball and baseball man. And he has really stepped in and adapted to the system and adapted to the physical stress of the game and done a fantastic job. Another young man that I think we should mention, Jake Schifino. Jake Schifino, again, an outstanding basketball player, a great athlete. We brought him out afterwards, kind of recruited him out of the halls, and he's been playing football maybe for 6 weeks now. He's on our kickoff team, kickoff return team. I think he's become our nickelback now for Coach Koleski. So both these young men from the basketball team are doing an outstanding job and give us the depth that we need in the secondary.
The Cavaliers, they can run the ball, they can throw the ball, maybe not have a lot of size, but they are quick. What is the defensive game plan against them this week?
Well, you know, Kiski's well balanced. They do have two running backs. Baglia is their fullback. He's 190 pounds, a very thick, strong-legged kid. You're not going to arm tackle him and bring him down. And the kid that's making a good shot to be an all-conference tailback is Jeremy Moore, running very well, among the leaders in the Eastern Conference. And again, a strong-legged, powerful type runner. Not a jitterbug speedster by any means. Somebody that's going to run you over, all the Kerpakis from Central Catholic. A quarterback that deals the ball very well, and a young man that returns for them, their premier player, Tony Chin, at the wideout. 5'9", but a speedster with great hands, and they will isolate him out there and take their chances one-on-one. He's going to go up and get the ball. A lot of pressure on our corners this week. Damian Germany, especially Charis Britt, Victor, to be able to handle Tony Chin, because it's obvious that they are going to throw the ball to him, especially if the running game shuts down. We have had the ability in the past to shut down the running game, so Chin becomes our major adversary at this particular time. The past three games that Kiski has played, there have been 25 passes thrown, 19 have been thrown to Chin. So that pretty much sums it up. He's the go-to man, and we need to stop him, and hopefully we'll have the speed to be able to cover him.
Talk about Kiski's size, that maybe their disadvantage perhaps defensively as we turn the ball around. I'm sure this Friday night we're going to see the Penn Indian power running attack, and we're just going to try to go right at Kiski.
Well, we're going to attempt to establish that, obviously, but we hope to throw the ball. And again, if we're going to go anywhere or have any chance of going anywhere, we have to be well balanced. I think if we're going to beat a Kiski team that'll be fired up out of their minds in a Davis Stadium, Davis Field atmosphere, then those people will be fired up out of their minds. This will be their senior night, no doubt. We are going to have to run the ball inside, run the ball outside, and still have the threat to throw the ball. To beat Kiski, to beat Gateway, and to hopefully advance anywhere else. So our game plan against this defensive unit is to be very, very well versified. And obviously Timko and Gillespie need to protect against the run and the pass if they're going to be successful in stopping them.
Well, hopefully you come out healthy. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. We talked about the Indians wrapping up a playoff spot and wrap up the conference Friday night. Friday night at Mustang Stadium, the runner-up, or at least another playoff spot will be decided with Plum and Central Catholic going at it. The winner goes to the playoffs. The loser won't make it. Any predictions on that one?
Well, I don't know. No. You know, it's a shame that one of these teams is going to have to lose the game and be eliminated from the playoffs. You know, I've been there before. I know.
I'm sure you have a lot of empathy with both teams, both having great seasons.
You know, both having great seasons. You know, congratulations to John Fischetti and his staff. Central Catholic is doing a fantastic job and playing great football, and the people certainly need to be proud of what he's done there. And then on the other side, Billy Ramito, you know, in the beginning we thought, well, he's doing it with mirrors. They're really not that good, but they are that good. They've shown with their running game, 3 or 4 kids, Odo, Puchka, that they're able to establish a very, very good running game. The line's blocking very well. And Umberger, quarterback, you know, he's a miracle worker. You cover the receivers, he's going to run the ball, and he's as good a tailback as there is in a conference. They have not made mistakes. They've, you know, they beat Kiski in overtime, and it'll be a war. Advantage maybe Plum because they're playing at home. But other than that, that's a toss-up game. Like I said before, the loser of this game, easier said than done, needs to hold his head high for a great season rather than be dejected for not making the playoffs. They're 2 good coaches, and they deserve all the credit they get.
Of course, no matter who wins, the Quad East will be well represented in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
This week, you brought a couple of some of the smallest members of the Indians team, but some of also the very important members of the team. You want to talk about Bees Fleas? Bees
Fleas. I guess we should talk about B first. Mike Birmingham has been at Penn Hills as long as they've been calling it Penn Hills. Tremendous asset to the program. To give you an indication of what I think about Mike Birmingham, when I first got the job, I didn't even think about coaching staff or anything else. I went to Mike Birmingham to beg him to come back to be my equipment manager and my right-hand man. If there's an assistant head coach on this team, it's certainly Mike Birmingham. He handles the stuff that I don't want to handle, that I can concentrate on the actual X's and O's, and he does a fantastic job with that. If Mike wouldn't have said that he'd be back with the team, I don't know if I would have taken it, because he's irreplaceable and he's done a fantastic job. But Bees Fleas, as they're affectionately known, I think we should have probably asked some of the players what they think about the Fleas. I think in some other programs, sometimes the managers and the ball boys are gophers and nothing more than that. But our young men, especially our coaching staff and Mike Birmingham, respect the job they do, appreciate the job they do, and understand how valuable they are. You don't have enough time in this program for me to tell you what these young men do. They're just fantastic, from water breaks to dummies to game balls to collecting scouting reports and hanging up uniforms and getting out the pennies, and you name it, you can talk to them about it. But they're just 3 great kids that I'm glad to have around. One of them, Zach Totterdale, that had been with us for 5 or 6 years. His family just recently moved to Chartiers Valley, I believe, and he's no longer here, won't be with us tonight, but Zach did a great job, and I wanted to mention him. But a young man that's been with us for probably 4 years or so, and he's B's right-hand man now that Zach's gone, is Mike Tunder, 10th grader at the high school, great kid, very responsible, very reliable, and you know, there's as much pressure on him as there are on the DeMont Gibsons and so forth, and he responds to the pressure. The second man that'll be here tonight is Chris Gold. Chris Gold was a football player last year, played on the 9th grade team, did a great job for us. Had some physical problems and some injuries that we decided that maybe he should sit out a year, but to try to keep him involved in the program so he would know what's going on, we asked him to be one of B's fleas, and Chris has responded very well. It's a twofold plus for us. Chris is still learning the system and so forth, and if he so desires, he'll be able to come back and be an integral part of the program next year. And in his year of sabbatical, so to speak, he's been a great asset for us in all these other duties. And the other one that you'll love, little 7th grader Mike O'Donnell. We told Mike he was here to sing and dance, and he's a little nervous over there. But Mike is a doll. He's a ball boy for us and a manager. And these are the kids you see running on the field every time out. So Billy Myers is not with us tonight, but he's also another one. So I think the people need to see these young men and realize how important they are to us. And I think you'll have a nice, enjoyable conversation.
Looking forward to it. Coming up, Bees Fleas. We wrap up this edition of the Coach's Corner. You're watching Penn Indians Football 95. Welcome back to the Coach's Corner, brought to you by Jay Clarkson, the Penn Shopping Center. Along with me to right here, to my right, we have 3 of the most important kids on this football team, known as Bees Fleas. To my immediate right, we have Mike Tunder. In the middle, we have Chris Gold. And on the far end, we have Mike O'Donnell. The big ones are in 10th grade, and the one on the far end, we'll say, is in 7th grade. Mike Tunder, we'll start with you. You seem to be the supervisor of the of Bees Fleas. You want to talk about maybe just what you do?
Well, I catch field goals at the game, and I just make sure everything gets done before the game, during the game, and after the game.
Okay, and Chris, I know you and Mike also share some important duties. You want to talk about that?
Well, we basically just make sure that all the players get Gatorade in their cups, and we fill them up before the game. And in the locker room, we go in 2 minutes before. Make sure they have all their equipment so they're ready to play the game and have the chance to go undefeated.
Now we'll ask Mike on the end over there. You're the smallest of Bees Fleas up here. On the sidelines, there are some very big guys on the football team. Do you sometimes feel like you're getting lost in the shuffle among them all?
Sometimes, not really.
They all treat you pretty good?
Yeah.
And what exactly do you help Chris out a lot? And just want to tell us maybe what you do?
I just mainly help Chris.
Cups all filled up.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to? You guys are in 10th grade. I know that Chris, you played football. You're taking a year off. You guys maybe want to talk about school a little bit, how you're enjoying that, and what you're looking forward to as far as the Indians this season.
Well, I like school a lot better. Everybody seems to be a lot more mature up there. Not as much weird kids in that. And I think we have a real good chance of going all the way this year. We have a real good team.
Okay. Chris, your thoughts?
I think the high school's better than down at Linton. Like he said, everybody's more mature, and there's not as many fights as there was in Linton. And Penn Hills, I think they're going to go undefeated this year and take it all. Go get the rings and everything.
Okay, Mike, these guys are trashing Linton. You maybe want to defend your school?
I think Linton's better because we get to eat with just the 7th graders, and we don't have to eat with no one else, like the bigger kids.
Now, with you being in 7th grade, you go out with the varsity kids a lot to all the football games. Do a lot of the other 7th graders are they maybe a little jealous or look up to you a bit because you're off with the varsity football team?
A lot of them always ask me how I got the job, and that's all.
Well, how did you?
Huh? Him, he gave it to me.
Okay. Well, Mike, hopefully he's living up to your expectations.
He's doing a lot better now because my friend Zach, he used to help here like a day before I did, and he left, and that was like a big loss. And then he's been doing pretty good since he's been here.
How's Mr. B treating you guys?
Great. He's always been real good to us.
Pretty good. Never did anything to us bad.
And Mr. B?
He's nice.
They all love Mr. B, who's smiling as he looks on, proud of his fleas. And once again, to my near right, Mike Thunder. In the middle is Chris Gold, and to the far side is Mike O'Donnell. 3 of the littlest guys on the Penn Indians team, but as you heard Coach Gordon say, 3 of the most important. That'll do it for this edition of the Coach's Corner, brought to you by Jay Clarkson. in the Penn Hills Shopping Center. Coming up next, the Penn Hills Indians and the Kiski Area Cavaliers. Stay tuned. You're watching Penn Hills Indians Football 95. It's week 9 of the WPIAL season, and the Penn Hills Indians come into Vandergrift, Pennsylvania, to take on the Kiski Area Cavaliers with a perfect 8-0 record. And Bob, tonight the Penn Hills Indians have a chance to clinch the Quad East Conference, clinch a playoff spot last week with a victory over Fox Chapel. And Bob, the Kiski Area Cavaliers, although they are out of the playoff hunt, they want to delay the Penn Hills Indians' chance to clinch the conference until next week.
Well, we would talk about different kinds of motivations for different teams tonight. Penn Hills has a chance to remain perfect, to clinch the Quad East Conference, and to stay alive for the top spot in the WPL playoffs. Kiski, they want to play spoiler. They are 0-5, as you mentioned, in the conference, 2-6 on the year, and I'm sure they're going to pull out all the stops tonight because they really have nothing to lose. And it would be a big jewel in their cap, possibly the highlight of their season, if they could knock off the #1 team, not only in the Quad East, but also in the Quad A.
The Indians come into the final 2 weeks of the season with some motivation. Obviously, tonight they want to win to clinch the Quad East, and if they do that, next week they go up against Gateway, another tough team, to go perfect on the season at 10-0. But standing in the way of the Cavaliers, they're going to pull out all the stops tonight, and they've done something in every game this year that the Penn Hills Indians can expect.
I'm sure good advanced scouting, but Kiski has faked a kick in every game this year. They played 8 games. Every game they've faked a kick. So Penn Hills is on the alert for that. We talked about it earlier in the year where they tried to exploit the other team's special teams to block some kicks. I'm sure they're going to be aware of the fake kick tonight from the Kiski Area Cavaliers.
The Indians are a team that runs, but they can't throw the ball. We might see them throw the ball a few more times tonight.
I think the Kiski secondary is definitely good at run support, and when a team like Penn Hills can pound it on the ground, that'll bring the secondary up and open up to the pass. And, Penn Hills can pass effectively. They proved it. 2 touchdown passes the last 2 games. They choose not to pass the ball, and with Strader and Thompson leading the attack, both over 700 yards rushing, I'm sure that you would just lean to them. But Penn Hills, will see what happens tonight. It depends with Kiski. If they're stopping the run, then I'm sure the Indians will pass the football.
Last week, the Indians jumped out to a 21-0 lead. Hopefully, they can do that again this week and rest some of the starters. So how important is that for the Indians to get some of these starters rested?
Well, I think rest is good, and health is definitely a key going into the playoffs. Last year, we saw the Indians beat up, and it affected them in a few games. Case in point, the McKeesport game. Tonight, though, we don't have the weather as we did last week. We did have rain during the day, but this field was in beautiful condition, and that's a reason why a lot of starters were rested. But if you get a big lead, you can rest the starters, make sure they're healthy, and that's the key. You want to have everyone healthy once you go into stretch drive and end the playoffs.
The Penn Hills Indians have the Quad East Conference in their sights. So victory tonight over the Kiski Area Cavaliers clinches the Quad East Conference. Stay tuned. That's coming up next. You're watching Penn Hills Indians Football 95. And we're underway at Davis Field in Vandergrift as the Penn Hills Indians kick off. Cavaliers take the ball at their own goal line, running it out to about the 25-yard line. It's Ed Baynard. And the officials will mark it about the 32-yard line, and that's where the Cavaliers will start their first possession of the ball game. The Cavaliers won the toss, elected to receive.
Sheila, it'll be first down, Kiski area on the Kiski 28-yard line.
Penn Hills Indian defense playing the 3-4. Mike White, left tackle. Damon Gibson at nose. Corey Connors at right tackle. Cavaliers immediately go to the option on the left side. On the pitch, breaking the corner, picking up a few yards. Number 44, Jeremy Moore, getting close to the 40-yard line.
Moore, tackled by Germany.
What do you call the pickup on play about 6 yards, and now the Kiski Area Cavaliers on 2nd and 4 throw the ball out to midfield, and it's almost picked off by Dwayne Thompson. The pass intended looked like Steve Joseph. Excuse me, that was Tony Chin.
Steve Joseph was the up man, and it went off of his hands, and Tony Chin, their leading receiver, was behind it, almost caught the deflection. That ball hit off about 4 players. The ball had a chance at it.
Coverage by
Brad Scott, the quarterback for the Kiski Area Cavaliers. They sort of do the quarterback shuffle. Also bring in number 7, Jeff Jackson. He's a sophomore. 6'1", 200 pounds. I haven't listed at 6'10", but it's 6'1". But it's Brad Scott, a quarterback, and Scott drops back. Di Natale with the pressure on the left side, and Di Natale brings him down in the backfield. Nice play by B.J. Di Natale to shake off the block of Greg Schmeiler. And Di Natale gets into the backfield to haul down the Kiski Area Cavalier quarterback. Brad Scott for the loss brings up 4th down now for the Cavaliers, and they will have to punt.
Yeah, Scott was right-handed and looking to his left, and Di Natale, who sat out last week, came in off his right defensive end position with good possession, and was able to sack Scott for a loss of 7.
Strader and Thompson down deep to receive the punt.
Oh, good thing he was kicking it right. No, he was kicking it right.
Victor Strader goes to catch the punt, and it will be called for interference. He was hit early by Dave Lawrence. Will tack it on to the return. But fortunately for the Kiski Area Cavaliers, Ben Hilty, the punter, looked to his right to kick it, or else the punt would have been blocked.
That's Tony Chin, who was one of the Kiski stars, and he came flying down, and being a senior, that's kind of a mistake that you don't want to make. That was just way too obvious and a terrible mistake, and that'll give 15 yards to Penn Hills. They'll have excellent field position.
The old venue of Davis Field in Vandergrift. Well, they have us sitting on the PA speaker.
As if they couldn't tell that. It is very loud. Actually not. They get 5 yards on the penalty. So they'll start at their own 42.
Still great field position for the Indians. And it's Damon Gibson in the backfield. Gibson blocks for Dwayne Thompson, who crosses the left side, gets up over to the 47, picks up 5. Gibson in the backfield as a blocker. He went one way, Thompson went the other.
And Gibson had no one to block, and about 8 yards downfield were the first 2 Kiski Area Cavaliers who came up to block. They were the defensive backs, so a good pickup of 5 for Dwayne Thompson on first down.
And they keep Gibson as the up back. Indians in the power I formation. And again, it's Thompson behind the block of Damon Gibson waiting for it. And there goes Dwayne for a first down to the Kiski 42. And there's where Thompson waited for the block of Gibson and just followed behind the big guy.
Tackled by Trudgeon. First down, Penn Hill.
And Gibson has to be wondering when he's getting the ball. Dwayne Thompson running behind Ronnie Graham and Damon Gibson. There they go again over the right side. This time it's Victor Strader who twists and falls down to the Kiski 35.
I'm sure both Strader and Thompson as the top ball carriers for Penn Hills like to see the fact that you have a convoy of Ronnie Graham and Damon Gibson in front of you from the backfield.
They've moved Corey Connors into Damon Gibson's right guard position. So they've been running behind.
Yeah, he took on the block a lot better.
Connors on the right side. Nothing much doing there for the Indians. It's Victor Strader. So they've been running behind Corey Connors and Ted Fitzpatrick over on the right side.
Tackled by
Yet to go to the Mike White, Hudell Mickens side. Or excuse me, Mike White, Kevin McCoy. I'm going to hear that one.
Yeah, every play so far Penn Hills has taken, that's 4 plays from scrimmage, has all gone to the right.
This time it's Dwayne Thompson up the middle. Dwayne Thompson, touchdown Penn Hills. The little big man, 35 yards, just like that. The Indians are up 6-0 over Kiski.
And TDDT does it again. All he does is get in the end zone.
with a touchdown.
And Dwayne Thompson now with touchdown number 14 on the season. And Penn Hills taking the punt, good field position. It takes them 5 plays to get into the end zone. They're up 6-0.
Dave Zakia on now for the point after. Jeremy George with the snap. Victor Strader will be on the hold. And we saw Dave Zakia booting 50-yarders before the game, Bob.
With
To
ease.
attempt the extra point.
With room to spare. Snap, hold, kick, good.
The kick is good.
8:04 to go first quarter. Penn Hill 7, Kiski Area nothing. And Bob, the Indians are very determined to move the ball downfield.
And they did it in a hurry, too. It took them 2 minutes, 24 seconds. 5 plays, 58 yards. Thompson capping that off, obviously, the big chunk of the yardage on the 35-yard touchdown run. And Zakia's PAT gives them the early 7-0 lead.
Now for the second time in the game, the Indians will kick off to the Cavaliers. Again, it's just a case of the Indians' size, strength, speed.
Zakia kicking off for Penn Hills. Chin and Boehner. Deep for Kiski.
That's a dangerous combination, Bill, when you have size, strength, and speed. And in this case, talking about some of the linemen and some of the other players, not the skill players for Penn Hills, you have size, strength, and speed all wrapped into one. Individuals that is.
Here with the high kick, it will be taken by Boehner at the 4. Looks like he's going to reverse to Chin, and he does to the near side. And the Indians look like they're waiting for him. And Chin does a nice job to break through the initial wave of containment, and he brings the ball onto the 30-yard line. Donnie Chichilla with the tackle, and nice running by Chin on the reverse.
Yeah, Chin saw him some speed and kind of an early detection of that. They just didn't disguise the play long enough, but Chin was able to make a tackle or miss at about the 18-yard line. Was able to pick up about 14 more yards. So Kiski starts their second possession at their own 32.
Cavaliers go to the I formation. Joe Bagley at 41. Jeremy Moore deep at 44. First man through is Bagley. He's met by a host of Indians at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain.
Yeah, if you're looking at Kiski's star players, you'd look at Jeremy Moore, number 44, who dots the I in their backfield. And their quarterbacks are young, especially the sophomore Jeff Jackson. But they are talented. And Tony Chin, who is smallish, number 22, the receiver. You might remember from last year, got a couple touchdown passes against the Indians.
Brad Scott still in a quarterback again. It's Baglio and Moore in the I formation. The Cavaliers are going to throw. Jeremy George with the pressure, with the pass completed out to Chin on the far side of the field for a Kiski first down. Was knocked out of bounds at the 45.
The pass is
nice job by Brad Scott to get the ball out to Chin. He was under pressure by Jeremy George.
On the coverage.
It wasn't slowing down.
Chin came all the way across the field, too. Started from the right side. The right-handed quarterback Scott rolled to his left, and Chin came across the field to pick up 13 on that play, and the initial first down for Kiski comes on that pass.
The Indians with a lot of movement at the line of scrimmage. There goes Ronnie Graham in on the blitz, and he brings down the quarterback Scott in the backfield. Second sack of the game for the Indians. On a loss of 5. Saw the movement by the Indians up front, and it just opened a hole for Ronnie Graham to come blasting through.
Got a loss of 8, back from the 45 to the 37. And you mentioned the second sack, the first one by Dina Talley. This time Graham from the middle linebacker position shot the gap that was wide open, and a nice tackle to bring down Scott for the loss of 8. Second and 18 now for the Cavs.
Penn Hills Indians secondary, Dwayne Thompson, Victor Strader, Charles Britt, and Damian Germany linebackers. Dina Townley, George Graham, and Garrett Livingston. And again, the pressure by the Indians slipping in the backfield of Scott, and they'll roll him down. Couldn't tell if the knee went down. It looked good from here, but the officials are closest to the play. They'll call it down. Somebody will get credited for another sack. So we'll call back-to-back sacks. So the second a gift for the Indians, and now it's third and from here to West Leechburg for Kiski. Lone back is Vaglia. Brad Scott rolling to the near side again. Di Natale on the on the pressure. Ball batted in the air by Victor Strader. Intended for Jeremy Moore. The ball falls to the turf. Now fourth down for Kiski, and again they'll have to punt.
That time a well-timed deflection by Victor Strader. He made the hit perfectly And almost had a chance to intercept it. As a matter of fact, that ball was up there. Tony Chin, we keep talking about him, their top receiver, was in single coverage with Dwayne Thompson to the right side, but he was a deep pattern. And Scott could not get the ball in deep, so tried for the up receiver, and good coverage by Strader to deflect the pass away.
Augie Livingston almost blocked the previous Kiski punts. We'll see if he gets in. Strader and Thompson deep. Augie does get in, but it's a short kick to the near side of the field. Strader will let it bounce, gets a Kiski roll, and they'll down it at the 36-yard line. I don't think Victor Strader was looking to get in anybody's way that time. So 5:05 to go, first quarter, Penn Hill 7. Kiski nothing. The Indians getting their hands on the ball for the second time. We'll see if they have Gibson in the backfield again.
Penn Hill, 36-yard line.
Well, that's 2 times we saw kind of new wrinkles from Penn Hills earlier this year. Ronnie Graham got into the backfield when Dwayne Thompson was hobbled by a knee injury, and tonight, really not any injuries, but a nice new wrinkle when they went for it, the heavy set, we're going to call that, in the first series, and they don't have it going here. Damon back to his normal offensive line position.
And the Indians do keep it on the ground. It's a little big. It's Victor Strader who cuts over the 50-yard line. It's a foot race now. Strader 20, brought down from behind at the 15-yard line, marking it to 16. Nice play by Ryan Such. Was able to catch Strader from behind, or it was another 6 points for the Indians.
Definitely a nice play by Ryan Such. He's the only man, and the only way he could make that tackle was a shoestring job. But first down and a big, big gainer for Victor Strader. And Penn Hill's sitting pretty at the Kiski 16.
On the Kiski area,
Strader and Thompson held last week under 100 yards each.
Give Victor 48 yards on that carry, on that jaunt, if you will.
Now the Indians with a 1st and 10 at the 16. And again, it's Victor Strader who cuts over the 10, being held at the feet. Good job by Darren Such, the
Strader, tackled by
So we'll mark it at the 13. Excuse me, they're going to mark it at the 8.
Tell you what, the key to that, the long run by Strader, Bill, it was good blocking, but Penn Hills had collapsed the line, and the hole was there, but he had to jump over some clutter at the line of scrimmage, and Strader did it. Once he got into the secondary, it was almost gone goodbye.
Again, it's Victor who fights his way for no gain.
3rd and 1.5.
So now 3rd and, we'll call it 2 for the Indians.
Strader, tackled by Frank.
Once again, you see the desire in the leg drive. We talk about it with Thompson and Strader. Neither of them are very, very big physically, but you get that leg drive going, you make a lot happen, and Strader refused to go down. Could have been tackled for a loss, as a matter of fact, but kept enough leg drive to pick up about a half-yard gain. 3rd and short for the Indians at the Kiski 7.5.
This time it's Augie Livingston who gets the Indians first down. Mark them down at the 3-yard line. 1st and goal now for the Indians, and it was Augie on the quick dive.
We saw him score a touchdown on that play earlier, about further out for about the 17-yard line. This time, Garrett almost broke it. He did get enough for the first down and almost broke it for the touchdown. But 1st and goal for the Indians at the Kiski 3.
On the Kiski 3-yard line.
So Strader and Livingston split in the backfield. And Damian Germany wide way to the right, and it pitches to Victor Strader over the right side. One man to beat it to 5-4. Dives down close to the goal line, fumbles into the end zone, touchdown Penn Hill. I have no clue. Did Strader get in, or was the ball fumbled into the end zone?
No, Germany picked up the fumble in the end zone for the touchdown.
Strader carried the ball. Fumble recovered by Germany. Touchdown for Penn Hill.
Damian Germany, Johnny, on the spot. Zakia attacks on the exclamation point.
The kick
14-0
by
Penn Hill.
Zakia
Is that Damian's first
is
touchdown of the
good.
season?
The
This is
score.
Damian's first touchdown on the season.
14.
He would now get his name into the scoring column and picks up the Strader fumbles. Strader got the tough yards, 2.5, almost 3 of them. Fought to the goal line, lost the football, but Damian was Johnny on the spot.
When things go your way, they really go your way. So the Indians up 14-0 with 2:27 to go first quarter. Two possessions for the Indians, 2 touchdowns.
5 plays on each drive, so 10 plays. That's got to be demoralizing for Kiski to see Penn Hill's offense just knife the ball down the field and score with relative ease on both possessions.
Cavaliers graduating 14 seniors this year, a host of underclassmen. Look for them to vie for the Quad East title next season. With another long boot close to the goal line. Again, it's taken by Ed Boehner, and Boehner looking to run up the gut, and he's met at the 25. Well, credit John Davidson in on the tackle along with Nick Brown and Jeremy George.
Brown. It'll be first down, Kiski.
Brown and George held him up while Davidson come in for the kill. So now the Cavaliers will take over at their own 25. Scott rolling to the left under pressure by Jeremy George, looking downfield for Chin, and the ball's picked off by Damian Germany, and he scores his second touchdown of the game. When it goes your way, it goes your way. Damian Germany. Again, Johnny on the spot.
The pass to
steps in front
West,
of Chin.
intercepted by
Returns the ball
Germany.
35 yards for the Penn Hills touchdown.
Return for the touchdown.
So it's the second straight play that Germany is in the right place at the right time, gets a second score in a matter of 12 seconds. And Germany, his third interception is a nice one, 34 yards on the right sideline for the Penn Hills touchdown. And we still have 1:50 to go in the first quarter, and Penn Hills trying to make it 21-zip.
George on the snap. Strader holds, Zakia kick. Good. 21-0,
The kick is
1:50
good.
to
The
go
score,
first quarter.
Penn Hills,
Wow.
21, 50, nothing.
Can I pick up Germany on my rotisserie team this week?
Now it's going to be really demoralizing when you don't even have the offense touch the football and you score. They fumble the football, Strader does, and Germany gets the good bounce, gets the touchdown, and he turned around 20, 30 seconds later. He's picking off a pass going untouched down the left sideline. So Penn Hills has just poured it on in the first quarter, 21-zip. That was the final score of last game, and they got things well in hand now, and you got to like that. You got to be very, very happy with that if you're a Penn Hills coach.
Germany waited 9 weeks for his first touchdown. He gets 2 in a
The
matter
Kia,
of 12
the
seconds.
Yeah, about 12 seconds of actual offensive time, not including the time that elapsed on the kickoff.
Zakia with a swift kick taken by Bagley at the 21, runs laterally right into the Penn Hills Indians coverage. Took him 5 yards on the return, even though he ran about 40. Cavaliers will take over at their own 28. Down by 21, and you know they're probably going to be throwing the football after that last pass.
Well, we talk about alternating quarterbacks, and alternating in with Scott, who is number 12. Brad Scott he's only a junior. We see Jeff Jackson, who's a 6 foot, 200-pound sophomore, and they alternate. So if this keeps up, I'm sure we'll look to see Scott come into the game.
It is Scott in the game now.
Oh, I mean Jackson, excuse me. Thank you.
Bagley on the pitch to the near side. Chased out of bounds by Hoggy Livingston.
Moore.
Excuse me, Moore.
Tackled by Livingston.
He'll pick up about a yard, and if that, good pursuit by the Penn Hills Indians defense. And that's been one of their strong points, the way they pursue the ball carrier. And that time they pitched out, and Moore looked to turn it up, and he just couldn't do it. He ran out of room at the sideline.
1:09 to go, first quarter. Penn Hills 21, Kiski nothing. 2nd and 8 for the Cavaliers. Brad Scott, quick drop, looks to Tony Chin on the far side of the field, and Damian Germany is there. He breaks the tackle of Germany, but he's knocked out of bounds.
I know we credit
and into Coach Timko.
We credit Tim Timko with a tackle on that.
10.
He seemed to jump right back up. Seems to be okay.
By Brett.
He misses the action, I guess.
First
Of course,
down.
he's used to playing the game with no pads.
On the Kiski.
Just want him to know that you said
40-yard
that, not
line.
I.
So nice tackle by Coach Timko. But on to after Kiski picks up the first down. And again, Scott's going to throw. Hit as he throws the ball, and there goes Dwayne Thompson with the pickoff. Here's a wall in front of him, 40, 30.
Nice block.
They'll go out of bounds inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
The pass to Chen, intercepted by
And it's all coming down on the Cavaliers.
Thompson.
See, the intercept comes at the 44, so Thompson
Moore.
returns at 46, and let's see where they mark it out. No, it's not inside the 10, it's at the 13. So about 43-yard return for Dwayne Thompson. First and 10 Indians at the 13.
It'll be first down.
So the
Penn
Indians
Hills
up
on the
21-0,
Kiski area.
looking to strike for more.
15-yard line.
Send Twins to the right, Ronnie Graham to the left. Split backfield. Man in motion is Strader. Look for Thompson on the pitch. But it's Hoggy Livingston right up the right side. Livingston crosses the 10 down to the 5-yard line. Nice running by Hoggy off tackle.
I'll tell you what, a pair of 28s met very close in the backfield. Or it was Steve Joseph, 26, it's easy for Kiski. And Livingston just shook him off as if he was a gnat. And picked up 8 yards to the 5.
Valia on the tackle.
5 seconds to go first quarter. That should be the last play. Indians walking away from the line of scrimmage. There goes the buzzer. You're watching Jeopardy. After one period of play, Penn Hills 21, Kiski nothing. You're watching Penn Hills Indians football 95. Second quarter about to get underway. Penn Hills 21, Kiski nothing. The Indians with the ball just outside the Kiski area 5-yard line. Going to the I formation. Strader up, Thompson deep. Twins right, and it's Thompson up the middle. And Dwayne doesn't get much of anything.
No gain that time.
Thompson.
And that's the second time as a play from scrimmage has been stopped for nothing. So 3rd and 2 for the first down, or 5 for the touchdown for Penn Hills. Thompson just couldn't get any leg drive going. Good penetration. First time, or second time actually, for Kiski.
Look for the Indians maybe to move the ball to the
It'll be
outside. They have a
third
lot of
down,
room on the far
2.
side of the field.
On the Kiski 5-yard line.
So Thompson and Strader split in the backfield. Jeremy George to the near side. Twins left. And there goes Lenny Gilmer on the keeper. Lenny Gilmer looks like he gets the first down. Flags fly.
Flag is
Looks like it's
down.
going to go against the Indians for a motion call. But we'll see what
Gilmer.
the officials say.
Gilmer got to the 2, so it would have been a first down by about a yard. But if Penn Hills was in motion, they'll bring him back, and they'll bring it back to the 10-yard line. So it'll be about bringing about a 3rd and 7 for the Indians.
So the Indians with a 3rd and 7 at the Kiski 10. The Indians up by 21. 11:20 to go first half. Along with broadcast partner Bob Workers, I'm Bill Navarre. Great to have you along on a beautiful
Penalty against
October
Penn
Friday
Hills,
evening in
illegal
Vandergrift,
motion.
Pennsylvania.
So we got to give credit on the interception. That was a few
It'll be
plays ago.
third down.
That interception, the ball was thrown up in the air by Scott because of the pressure. He was getting hit as he threw the ball up, and it just popped up in the air, led to the Thompson interception, which has Penn Hills sitting pretty now, but 3rd and 7 from the 10.
Same formation. This time Lenny Gilmer's looking, and he dumps the pass over towards Victor Strader. The ball batted,
By Joseph.
and the ball falls incomplete. Now 4th down for the Indians. We'll see if they go for it on 4th down or if they're going to run
The
the key, and I think the Indians are going to go for it on 4th down.
Blocked by Joseph.
Well, the 21-0 lead, you're not really looking
they're
for
bringing
different
the
points.
kicking
But
unit.
you could work on it. I'm saying with a lead like this now, it gives you a chance to work on a lot of things. And you want to be careful to keep everyone healthy, but you have a big lead, and it makes things different. This will be about a 17-yard or 27-yard field goal. Zakia, 2 of 6 on the season.
So it's George on the snap. Strader hold. Ball down. Kick up. Kick. It's good.
Right over top the upright.
10:54 to go, second quarter. Penn Hills 24. Kiski nothing. That's sort of a moral victory for the Cavaliers.
Penn Hills 24.
Indians have had the ball 4 times and have scored on all 4.
So Zakia now 3 of 7 after connecting on the 27-yarder.
Number is
And we're just a minute and
The
6 in.
winning number for the
And Penn Hills are ready
50-50
with
drawing.
24 points on the scoreboard.
We may see some of the underclassmen a lot sooner than we had expected.
5-4-2. 5-9-8.
You got 12 on the field.
5-4-2. The person with this ticket number should report to the new concession stand. Thank you for supporting your Kiski area football team. The winner will receive $252.
Sakia with another high kickoff taken at the 5-yard line by Ed Baynor, who's running up the middle behind some blocking, and Baynor has some running room out to the 35. Nice return by Baynor. We'll mark it at the 34.
Baynor
Followed the wedge,
tackled by
and the Cavaliers, who've been just
Kiski.
snake bit in the first half, will start there with almost 10 and a half to go in the first half.
We still see Scott in a quarterback.
It'll be
Kiski hoping
first
to
down.
make something
50
happen,
on
and
the
they're
50,
definitely behind the 8 ball,
34-yard
24-0.
line.
The Indians are already starting to rest some of the starters. Scott's going to throw the ball. The ball's tipped by one man, almost caught. They're going to say it was caught. Nice catch by Tony Chin. Original pass was intended for Casey Maluli. He was hit, just the ball got to him. The ball was in the air, and Chin dove and pulled it in.
And since that ball was tipped, it wouldn't have been interference on the pass to Chin. The ball was tipped and the contact was made, but got to give a good concentration for Chin. Somehow he had the man draped all over him. It was Germany who was draped all over him, and he made the catch.
Rashad Reed in at the nose tackle position. First man through is Baglio. Baglio gets a Kiski first down out across the 45 to the 46.
Valiant tackled by Gisela.
Vaglia picks up their second first down, and his first good gain from scrimmage. He now has 2 carries for 10 yards. We talked about Moore being their stud back. He's been held to 7 yards on 2 carries.
And as soon as we mentioned Rashad Reed in at nose tackle, in comes Gibson, out goes Reed. Indians again with movement on the line. Pitch to Moore over to the right side. Moore crosses the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. Might pick up a couple.
Moore. Tackled by White.
See the Indians shift as the man goes in motion, and they shift down. You saw all the linemen on all fours in the 4-point stance moving up towards the left, and that's where the play went, and that's why Moore was held to only a gain of 1.
Kiski still in the eye. Baglio and Moore. In motion is Baynor. Straight drop looking for Chin on the near side. Chin catches it at the 50-yard line, trying to get around Germany. And Germany will pull him out. Fans saw some extracurricular activity. Maybe it might have been a little right on that one.
By
Germany pulls Chin out of bounds at the 42-yard line. That's a first down for Kiski.
That's a gain of 11, and that's been their offense. Brad Scott throwing to Tony Chin.
First down, Kiski.
37 yards
On
and
the
4
Penn
receptions for Tony Chin.
41-yard line.
It's Vaglio on the first man through, tries to fight for some yardage. Spins off the pile, the whistle blows. And he'll pick up maybe 2.
Tackled by Livingston.
And here's my beef now with that spot. The whistle blew when Vaglia was stopped dead in the tracks at the 40, and he kept, it's only a yard, but he kept going, and then they mark it at the 39. This line, the side judge here, has to make the spot when the whistle blows, not where the play is stopped afterwards. I mean, it's a tough job, and a lot of times you hear us talk about the spots, and it's not an exact science anyway.
Tony Chin split to the far side. Baynor in motion to the near side. Scott rolling to the right under pressure by Dina Talley. The ball thrown and complete with a nice sliding catch is Ben Hilty at the 32.
The pass to
close to a
Hilty,
first down, probably mark it.
coverage by
I think I say he's about a yard short.
Kila.
So now it'll be 3rd and 1 for the Cavaliers. Penn Hills 24, Kiski nothing. 6:50 to go, first half. Just joining us now, you missed a lot.
It'll be 3rd down and 1.
So it's Vaglio up, Moore back in the I formation. Scott gives to Moore, and Moore has the first down to the 30-yard line. The Cavaliers have to be asking themselves, why couldn't they do this in the first quarter?
On the first drive, they're putting together a nice drive.
By
Of course, Penn Hills has a 24-0 cushion, but this drive started at Kiski 34. Now they've reached the Penn Hills 30. So 36 yards they've gained on offense, and obviously by far their best drive.
Now, all season we've seen the Indians give up a lot of yardage, but sort of getting into the red zone, they clamp down. We'll see if they do it again now. Scott pitches to Moore, who gives it on the reverse to Chin. And Chin's going to throw the ball downfield to nobody.
He was open. Chin didn't have enough arm, the left-handed man. He tried to hit Hilty at about the 15, but you'd rather throw an incomplete pass than Chin being tackled at the 45, which would have been a loss of 15.
Nice play by Corey Connors. Put the pressure on Chin. Drove him into the turf as he threw the football.
the pass
So
by
the little pinglet rumbling in the backfield. But as you say, it was a good play by Chin to throw the ball away, or else it would have been a loss of about 15 yards.
And he threw it towards Hilty enough where it wouldn't have been a grounding call, which would have been another loss as Kiski takes time out.
Pressure applied to Q.
Kiski may have the most cheerleaders of any team. They have more cheerleaders than some Class A football players have players. Football teams have players. So they're talking about a big contingent, I'm sure, but they're not happy. You know, the Penn Hills cheerleaders are extremely happy with a 24-0 score so far, 5:50 left in the second quarter.
Of course, I wonder if Kiski's like Gateway, where there's no cuts. Want to be a cheerleader, you're a cheerleader. Wow, we could have been cheerleaders if we went to Gateway. So now 2nd and 10. Following the timeout. Scott, quick drop, pumps once, looking for Chin deep. Double coverage, Charis Britt. The ball intercepted by Damian Germany into the end zone. What a first half by Damian Germany.
Pass to
A fumble recovery for a touchdown, interception for a touchdown. He's been in the end zone 3 times, Bob. This interception for a touchback.
I'm sure he's not complaining, though, and definitely
touchback.
at the early start of the game, Damian Germany gets his first points of the year, then picks off a pass, and now another interception. We saw his first interception this season, way back when, I believe, against Seneca or Butler, when he picked off a pass at about the 5-yard line. So, again, a nice play. Both Charis Britt and Damian Germany were in double coverage on Chin, and it's Damian Germany with his second interception, 3rd turnover for Kiski.
Dwayne Thompson busts over the left side, and Dwayne Thompson, again, there's the argument for the tearaway jersey. Being grabbed by Ryan Such. Penn Hills Indians with a bit of a change on the offensive line. Still Mike White and Kevin McCoy on the left side. Jared Smith still centering, but moving into Gibson's spot at right tackle was the piglet, Corey Connors. And moving into Connors' spot
Good.
is Teddy Fitzpatrick.
Darren and Ryan Good.
Gilmore and Graham split near side. B.J. DiNatale off to the far. In motion is Strader. And Lenny Gilmore's going to throw the football underneath to Strader. Strader is met at the 37 on a nice stop by Jeff Jackson, who's also the quarterback. But still a nice pickup by Strader as the Indians throw the football.
Tackled by
Strader will get
Jackson.
9. That's a good pickup on first down. And what happened was Jackson came up, and Strader just could not get his body turned, although he did have good strength because he was popped initially fairly hard, but he couldn't square his shoulders around to break off that tackle. But nonetheless, a good pickup of 9 on first down.
And it's Damian Germany on the reverse. Damian Germany gets into Kiski territory at the 40, call it 43-yard line. I'm looking at Strader up the middle, and there goes Germany around the left side.
Tackled by Valia on the
Germany
tackle.
took the inside handoff, and it was a foot race.
He'll pick up 17. Damien is having a career in the first half.
Mike White gets a breather. In comes Sean Buterbaugh, number 59 at the left tackle. Chilla in the slot. And Lenny Gilmer's going to throw the football looking deep. Oh, Ronnie Graham was open deep, but he throws under to Hoggy Livingston, who just breaks tackle after tackle and gets down inside the 10.
The pass to Livingston, complete. Tackle by
A little tough to see up there, Bob, since they put us behind the cameraman.
first
Well,
down.
Hoggy Livingston's
Daniels
first
on a Kiski
reception of the year is
9-yard line.
good for 35 yards, another Penn Hills first down. And the Penn Hills is finding themselves in a very familiar position close to the Kiski goal line. Backup quarterback Jeff Jackson is now coming out of the game shaken up for Kiski. The sophomore also plays defensive back, and he got rocked by the Hoggy Livingston stiff arm.
Dina Talley split to the right, Chichilla in the slot. And the first man through is Hoggy, who gets down to the 7. I'd like to see Nick Brown get in with this unit.
Livingston, tackled by Wood.
It would be his new band of renown, but you're seeing Livingston. We're going to give him a pickup of 1. Penn Hills using a lot of different looks and a lot of different players, trying to keep them fresh, keep everyone healthy, and why not? When you jump out that 24-0 lead, you definitely have that luxury, and well on their way. And we talked about it in the pregame. A victory tonight clinches the Quad East for the Indians.
So Hoggy goes out, Victor comes in. Dina Talley and Chichilla split left. Ronnie Graham to the near side. In motion is Strader. And it's Gilmer on the keeper. Lenny Gilmer spins down by the goal line, and then he gets into the end zone. Lenny Gilmer on the keeper gets into the end zone. Penn Hills Indians now lead 30-0 with 2:50 to go. Second quarter. And the Indians at this point can do no wrong. Knock on wood.
4 offensive possessions, 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Throw in an interception return for a touchdown. And this is just total domination by Penn Hills.
That drive 80 yards following the Damien Germany touchdown. Returns 1, recovers 1 for a touchdown, returns an interception for a touchdown.
Run 17 yards on this drive. And they took them only 7 plays to go the distance.
Kick is up. And good. So now 31-0 to go. Or 31-0 with 2:50 to go.
31.
First half.
Kiski area, nothing.
And the Cavaliers have to be wondering what hit them.
And looking at it for Lenny Gilmer, who's having a nice game, 2 of 3 passing. Rushing wise, he gets his 4th touchdown. So Penn Hills, just as you said, Bill, they have done nor can they do any wrong so far in this first half.
Now, of course, if you're Larry Councilman, what do you tell these kids at halftime?
The only thing you can't say, you might not win, but you can't quit. That's the only thing you can drive into a kid's head right now when you're getting decimated like this.
Sakia kicks short, sitting on the turf. Dangerous play for Kiski. Picking it up is Boehner, but as soon as he does, he's brought down.
Boehner.
First man there was Scott Davis, the
Tackled
sophomore.
by Davidson.
Now the Cavaliers take over at the 18. 2:37 to go.
And obviously, Penn Hill's getting wise to the fact that the quarterback so far, Brad Scott, is definitely looking for Tony Chin. And he has been had single coverage, but he's drawing double coverage since he made a few receptions, resulting in the interceptions for Penn Hills.
Some more on the pitch. Crosses the 20. Ought to pick up a 3 to the 21.
4. Livingston in on that last tackle.
So Chin will split on the far side. Justin Cole on the coverage of Tony Chin. He's looking that way as Brad Scott. Scott under pressure, and the Piglet brings him down to the backfield.
I think it was Ron Graham who had a shot at him. Nick Brown had a shot at him. Jeremy George, and I think it was finally Ronnie Graham who dropped the sack, loss of 11, and that's the 4th sack of the game for Penn Hills.
So now 3rd and a long way to go for Kiski. You dare try to throw, or are you looking just maybe try to run out the clock? Because they can't do that, just a little over a minute to go.
You just want to get out of this alive this first half for Kiski. Nothing has gone right, and
the Indians call timeout. So the Indians looking to get the ball back. The ball at the Kiski 10-yard line, 1:05 to go. 3rd and a long way. We'll call it 19. So the Indians looking, if they stop Kiski here, they're looking to get the ball back with a lot of time left, Bob.
And 2 timeouts, and I think what you want to do is you can't get any more points. I'm sure you will barely see the starters in the second half. You want to keep them fresh, but you want to keep them healthy.
Still, we see Brad Scott in a quarterback. Maybe second half we'll get to look at the sophomore Jeff Jackson.
He has his helmet back on, so after he got shaken up on the long pass play to Livingston, he'll probably be back in, and maybe we will indeed see him in the second half on offense. He has yet to play offensively.
First man through is Vaglio, and he's met by Kevin McCoy at the line of scrimmage. McCoy or Mike White? Oh, it was Anthony the Slender. Anthony DiMaria on the hit. So now 4th down for the Cavaliers. Clock runs close to 40 seconds to go first half. You think the Indians would want to call timeout?
I don't think they're really looking to. They just wanted to be safe to prevent against a big pass play, I believe.
Ben Hilty into punt.
Either way, they'll get good field position. It's Haddon, or Cole, excuse me, back.
Kick high and short. It's Donnie Chichilla on the return.
It's Chichilla, excuse me.
Chichilla across to the 39.
He picks up 10 on the return, and I owe him 1. They did a nice job.
Tackled by Frederick.
Now the clock will begin to run with 12 seconds to go, and the Indians probably will not run a play. The offensive unit comes on. Looks like about not nearly enough for a contingent, and the Indians will let the clock run out. So after 24 minutes of football, it's Penn Hills 31, Kiski nothing. You're watching Penn Hills Indians Football 95.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For your halftime enjoyment, the Penn Hills School District is pleased to present the 1995-1996 Penn Hills High School Marching Band. This evening's show will open with the exciting melody on Broadway. From the popular musical Guys and Dolls, our next selection, Let's Be a Lady, will feature the band's rhythm at Vandergrift and Kellergard. To close the season's performance from the record-breaking musical Phantom of the Opera, the exciting selection Masquerade, featuring the major red captain, Becky Morris. Trumpet solos for the evening include Rio DeSalvo, Jessica Reynolds, and Mike Thomas. Rhythm captains are Courtney Fry and Leilani Michaels. Kellergard captains are Missy Melissa Mason and Sonia Trainey. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Ruth Frost and Vesta Tubbs. And now, please welcome to the field, the Penn Hills High School Marching Band.
As the Penn Indians gather on the far side of the field, the second half about to get underway, the third quarter. coming up with the Penn Hills Indians leading the Kiski Area Cavaliers by a score of 31-0. And Bob, the first half, all Penn Hills.
Definitely all Penn Hills, 31 on the scoreboard, as you said. Offensively, Penn Hills with 167 yards rushing on only 16 or 17 carries, 2 of 3 passing for 44 yards. So they had 211 yards total offense. Kiski Area has 13 rushes for a negative 5 yards. They passed the ball 5 times, or 11 times, 5 completions for 45 yards. So they get a net of 40. So Penn Hills with 171 more yards in the first half than Kiski, leading to the 31-0 score. And 62 yards for Thompson, 66 for Strader on the ground.
Penn Hills Indians take the opening kick, short kickoff, taken by the upman Chris Zoller. And the Indians will take over at the 26-yard line with some personnel changes, Bob.
Indeed, we're going to see Dave Zakia get some action at quarterback as they go with the second-team offense. And joining him in the backfield, we will probably see Rashad Reed. And, of course, Nick Brown, who's been very impressive in his stint so far this year. So this will be the starting offense, and we'll check in on the rest of the linemen as we get their names.
And it is Nick Brown with the first carry of the second half, and Brown scrambles for about 4. Also in it, split wide to the near side was John Davidson, and on the far side was Justin Cole.
Brink and Valia on the tackle.
Also in Craig Gilmer, number 81. Number 64 is Scott Caravlan.
Coming from the outside here.
And again, it's Nick Brown with some running room over the 50-yard line. Nick Brown, 40. 2 men to beat. Nick Brown near the 20-yard line will be brought down at the 19. Nice burst of speed by Nick Brown.
Brown. Tackled by Darren Zoot.
So Brown goes from the 29 to the 19.
It'll be first down, Penn Hills on that
Quick pickup of 52 for Nick Brown and his band of renown. And once again, Penn Hills in a familiar territory, knocking at Kiski's door. It doesn't matter who's doing the running. The holes are there, and Penn Hills is just executing perfectly.
Moving into the center position, number 51, Randy Parker. We'll get to the rest of the linemen as we can. And it's Nick Brown hit in the backfield. After the big pickup, we'll lose a yard.
Brown. Ryan, Zoot, and Joseph in on the tackle.
Left side of the line, Caravlan and Sean Buterbaugh. And a guard on that would be on the near side of the field.
You mentioned Parker. Corey Connors is also in there on the line, as is Eric Longo. And Craig Gilmer has taken the end position. He's at one end, and John Davidson at the other.
Pitch to Nick Brown on the right side. Brown looking to get outside. 15, crosses the 10-yard line. That'll be brought down at the 10. About a half yard short of a first down.
Brown.
So an impressive opening drive for, we'll say, Nick Brown. Dave Zakia getting some time at quarterback. Punter, place kicker, kickoff specialist. I formation now for the Indians. Rashad Reed up, Nick Brown back. And it is Nick Brown who fights to get to the 10, and he'll be stopped short. He'll be stopped right at the 10-yard line. So now 4th down for the Indians. Do they go for the half a yard? Do they kick the field goal? I think they're going to go for it.
Well, at least in this case, Zakia wouldn't have to run onto the field if they would kick the field goal. But I think they would definitely go for it. Just working the second-team offense, and I'm sure you're going to see a lot of new names and new shirts in the game for Kiski. And that's the way it is when you get up a big lead. Both teams will substitute freely.
So Lamont Maven split to the far side of the field. And it's Nick Brown with the carry. Officials are saying there's a fumble on the field, and the Kiski Cavaliers come away with it.
It's number 71 recovering for Kiski, Corey Trudgeon.
So it seems the only way the Cavaliers can stop the Indians is through the turnover. think it's the first drive the Indians have not scored on this in the game.
Except when they
Ran out the half.
Ran out the half in the
Recovered
last 15
by
seconds.
Kiski. It'll be first down, Kiski. On the Kiski 9-yard line.
Trying to get to the defensive changes as we can. That's Baglio crossing over the 10 to the 12-yard line. Eric Haddon. And at the left cornerback position, also in the backfield, Justin
Tackled
Cole.
by Morrell.
Nick Brown in there as well, along with number 47, Brad Sarchik. Sarchik alongside Hoggy Livingston.
Yeah,
as
Livingston is
linebacker.
the only one from the original starting defense who has remained in the game.
Pitch out to Chin, pass out to Chin on the near side. He drops the ball. Brad Scott still in
The
the quarterback
pass
for the
to
Kiski Cavaliers.
Kick, incomplete. Coverage by Haddon.
Sean Booterbaugh up on the defensive line along with Anthony DiMaria. Rashad Reed in at nose tackle. Got T-Rex on the right side. And Rashad Reed busts through the line in to the backfield to pull down Scott as a flag flies in late.
I think the ball was fumbled. That's just the marker where it was brought down.
Tackled by
Not a flag.
Reed.
Just the ball marker, one of those bean bags.
You're absolutely correct, Bob.
Morrell in on that tackle.
So Devon Morrell and Rashawn Reed. Credit Reed for busting through, breaking up the play. The T-Rex, number 37, Devon Morrell.
Brown deep for Penn
On
Hill.
the right end, also on the near side, John Davidson, number 43.
For Kiski.
And Kiski will punt from their own end zone. I don't think we'll see them fake it from here. Short kick by Kiski takes a Penn Hills bounce. It'll go dead at the 30-yard line. So the Indians get the ball back in excellent field position. Still 31-0 with 6.5 to go, third quarter.
It'll be first down, Penn Hills.
Zakia at quarterback, pitches to Nick Brown over the right side. Brown checks one man in the backfield, crosses the 30, down to the 21. Follows the lead block of number 24, Eric Haddon.
Brown, tackled by Brink.
Nice job by Nick Brown to pick up, 7 yards.
Nick Brown has just picked up a quick 75 yards.
Corey Connor comes in as the right tackle.
Only played about 6.5 minutes here in the third quarter.
And again, it's Nick Brown who bounces off one tackle at the line of scrimmage, but he's brought down in the backfield. Joe Cherafisi
on the tackle.
On the tackle. Brown loses one. Now it's second and a long 3. So we called about, did he pick up yardage on that one, Bob?
Yeah, he picked up about a yard.
Interesting. I think he was brought down in the backfield. They faked the Haddon on the first man through, and it's Nick Brown who gets the first down. And Nick Brown getting the work here in the third quarter.
Brown tackled by Valia.
He's been the only Indian to carry the football here in the second half. So Victor Strader, Dwayne Thompson, and Hoggy Livingston getting a break here with the Indians up by 31. Haddon and Brown in the eye. And again, it's Brown up the middle, and Brown dives through the line down inside the 15.
Brown tripped up by
Talking about the 14-yard line. The Indians just methodically carrying the football.
10 carries and, excuse me, 89 yards for Nick Brown, or 79 yards.
Justin Cole split to the far side. This time it's Eric Haddon, the first man through, getting close to the 10. Down to 11. Haddon with 3 yards on his first carry of the game. And the clock continues to run. We're at 3:45 to go third quarter. The Indians up 41-0. So academic at this point, Bob. The Penn Indians, it seems to come out of this game as the Quad East champions. Getting a lot of the starters much needed rest, but also getting a lot of the underclassmen and what they'd call not the B team, but the A2s, a lot of much needed work. Davidson split wide. And it's Nick Brown over the left side, might get to the 10. They're going to come up with a 4th and 3, are the Indians. I think they will again go for it.
Brown. Zoot and Trudgeon in on the tackle.
He'll run outside, watch. He's outside, he'll run outside.
Pitch to Brown on the right side. Brown crosses the 10, cuts back inside down near the 5-yard line. Looks like he's good enough for the Penn Indian first down. He needed 3, he picked up 4, close to 5 yards. And Nick Brown gets the Indian first down. It'll be first and goal from the 6.
First down, Penn Hill.
I said I'd love to see Nick Brown get in with the big hogs on the line of scrimmage.
Nick Brown, obviously a talented runner, and it's showing here in the second half. He is a 6-foot, 193-pound junior. That's just testament to the talent that is in the Penn Hills backfield.
Penn Indians calling timeouts. They have a little mix-up on the personnel change. Coach Gordon will come on to talk to the troops with 2:04 to go third quarter. Penn Hills 31, Kiski nothing.
If you look at the Quad East, aside from this game, if Penn Hills wins, they are the Quad East champions. But Central and Plum are locked up in a second-place tie. They are playing tonight. Central wins tonight against Plum. They will be the second-place team in the Quad East. But if Plum wins and several other things happen, you could have a 3-way tie with Central and McKeesport also with a chance to get in. And that would have come down to the Gardner point system. But simplest scenario, Penn Hills victorious tonight wins the Quad East. Central wins over Plum tonight. They are second.
All right, formation for the Indians. And it's Nick Brown following Haddon and Reed, and Brown gets into the end zone. Nick Brown picks up the 6 yards, and the Indians get 6 points. Now 37-0 with 1:59 to go third quarter. That puts Brown over 90 yards in the third quarter, Bob?
That puts them at 87.
Oh, he had 81 yards. He had 85.
81 yards.
So, and Strader and Thompson, if you would review the first half stats.
6 for 62 and a touchdown for Dwayne Thompson. 5 and 66 for Victor Strader.
So Nick Brown, the leading ball carrier for the Indians tonight. He only works a quarter, and the Indians getting practice going for the 2. The Indians get the 2 points, but I didn't see who got the ball. It wasn't Reed, it was either Haddon or Cole, or Haddon or excuse me, it was Haddon.
Brown for the 2
No, it
point
wasn't Brown,
conversion.
excuse me. So Nick Brown picks up 8 points in the third quarter. Now 41-0 Penn Hills. Excuse me, 39. Put it up very quickly.
I thought they might have thrown that 4-point conversion play in there.
That's Australian rules football.
So Nick Brown, that is his second touchdown, and with the 8 points, he'll now up his totals to 14, and some impressive numbers, 13 carries and 87 yards to go with that touchdown and the 2-point conversion run.
Just have to mention Coach Timko is getting ribbed for his tackle on the sidelines.
Will be Sims and Boehner.
First half. Coaches ribbing him at halftime.
They were probably saying, technique, you have to wrap when you tackle.
He says the film doesn't lie. Watch the film. Ball fumbled inside the 5, because the reverse again to Chin. Gets by Davidson, and Chin has a wall to the near side. One man to beat is Zakia, the kicker. Zakia is going to try to run him out of bounds, and he does. Dave Zakia gets Chin out at the 32-yard line. Nice play by the kicker, Dave Zakia. The only man back there was Zakia, and for the moment, saves the goose egg. And Tony Chin is like...
Nice tackling. He's apoplectic.
Chin.
He thought he should have scored.
Tackled by Zakia.
Either that or he had Excedrin number 27 there, whether he was grabbing his head, but I think he thinks he should have scored.
It'll
But
be first
give credit
down,
to Zakia.
Kiski on the
He drew the
Penn
angle and made the nice tackle.
32-yard line.
Again, it's Scott and a quarterback. Baglio up, more deep. Chin split to the near side. Scott's going to throw, looking for Chin on the fade, and the ball way overthrown. Chin went out on the timing pattern into triple coverage.
Just looking for Chin or the trombone player in the Penn Hills band over there. Definitely. He not only overthrew that, he didn't even have, the ball wasn't even in play. And the timing pattern, you got to try to throw it into the end zone. And obviously, it's Scott's favorite receiver is Chin, and Penn Hills with again double coverage on Chin, and now he splits on the right side. That time, this time he split out to the left.
Of course, it might have been a case of Scott's he was thrown into triple coverage. This time it's Moore on the pitch, and Moore gets over the left side and be brought out of bounds by Justin Cole after picking up about 8.
Moore tackled by Cole.
You're giving 10 in the first down.
Kiski on the Penn Hills.
No, it was a bit of a gift.
2-yard line.
I thought 9 from where the spot was, but I guess it's good enough to get the change. And they spotted over the 22, so you got to give more of the credit for 10 in the first down.
Spotted at the 21.5, and this time Tony Chin splits to the near side. Dave Zakia on him. Maluli, quick handoff up the middle is Vaglio, and Vaglio gets in for the touchdown. Nice play by Kiski. Scott gives it to Vaglio on the dive up the middle, and Vaglio rumbles the 22 for the TD.
Valia.
The Indians now up 39-6.
Valia with a touchdown.
So the long kick return of about 65 yards by Tony Chin leads to first points, and that's all it does is take the goose egg away from the Penn Hills defense, and the extra point kick is up and good.
The kick by Arnold is
So
good.
42 seconds to go,
That's
third
score.
quarter. Penn Hills 39,
39.
Kiski 7.
Kiski 7.
I'm sure the Indians wanted the goose egg, but I'm sure there'd be much more. They'd be just as happy with the win, because the win means the conference.
Well, I think they should be feeling that the W is pretty much in the bag, but want to keep people healthy and rested, and that's exactly what they're doing. And if it means giving up a touchdown and sacrificing for the win, definitely the smart way to do it.
Arnold kicking off for Kiski.
You know, if you're Kiski, dude, dare try the onside kick.
Brown.
You don't have much to
deep
lose.
for Penn Hills.
Cavaliers down by 32 with slightly over a quarter to go. And a squib kick. Gets by Davidson. And Eric Haddon falls on it at the 23.
The kickoff down by Head on the
So Kiski perhaps looking for a bounce or two.
23-yard line. First down, Penn Hills.
Clock running at 15 seconds. This should be the final play of the third quarter. It's Nick Brown hit as soon as he gets the football. And that is the end of the third quarter. So 12 minutes to go. Penn Hills 39, Kiski 7. You're watching Penn Hills Indians football 95. 12 minutes to go in the football game. The Indians up 39-7. And Bob, 12 minutes until the Indians win the Quad East for 1995. Nick Brown again with the carry.
Brown.
Picks up close to 6.
Yeah, that was their goals coming in. Penn Hills wanted to stay focused.
Luke on the tackle.
And obviously their motivation is a
Assisted by
perfect season,
Gus.
the #1 ranking, and the Quad East Championship. And they've come in and accomplished all three tonight. We still have 11.5 minutes to go. But this one pretty much in the bag. Penn Hills with an outstanding first half offensively, and they just did what they wanted. Built up the big lead, and they lead 39-7 right now.
Again, it's Nick Brown. Gets close to the 30. Follows the blocking of Anthony DiMaria, number 72. Brown will be short of the first down by about 4 yards, and the Indians, for the first time in the game,
Yeah, this has been the weakest part of their game tonight, Bill.
will punt.
Because they didn't have to work on it. This is the first time we've seen Dave Zakia trot out the punt. We said in the first half, on their first 5 possessions, or the first 4 possessions, touchdowns and a field goal, and then they turned, at half, they just ran off the last 15 seconds.
It's Lamont Mabin in to do the punting.
Maven punting for Penn Hills.
Mabin boots one. Bounces at the 40. Takes a Penn Hills roll. And the Indians will down it at the 31. So not a bad kick for Lamont Mabin, his first of the season. So the Indians getting rests all around.
It'll be first down, Kiski on the Kiski.
So now the Indians
31-yard
defensive
line.
unit comes on. And the Cavaliers call timeout.
I gave you the quick scenario on the Quad East playoffs. Elsewhere in the Quad North, Seneca Valley in the driver's seat there. They get a victory, one victory in the last 2 weeks. They are in, and it is North Allegheny with the edge for the second spot there, but also Butler and North Hills with a chance to get in. The Quad South, Penn Trafford looks to wrap that up. You got Greensburg, Salem, and Connellsville and Norwin also battling for a spot there. And in the Quad West, Upper St. Clair with the upper hand. They get a victory tonight. They, like Penn Hills, will clinch their conference. And Baldwin has a chance to get in. Trinity and Ringgold. Most likely, if Baldwin should lose to St. Clair tonight, the winner of the Trinity-Ringgold game would get in from the Quad South.
Cavaliers still with the first unit in on offense, and it's Moore cutting over the left side.
Moore.
Brought down by Garrett Livingston, who's still in at the linebacking position. DeJuan Poston also comes in at the cornerback, on the left side, far side of the field. Justin Cole also following up on the tackle. Nifty bit of running by Ed Baynor, who gets the Kiski Area Cavalier first down as he crosses the 45 out to the 47. The Penn Hills Indian defensive line now consists of Anthony DiMaria, number 72, Chai Boyd, number 82, and Rashad Reed at nose tackle. Moore over the right side, and Rashad Reed dives on him from behind,
Moore.
preventing the first down, but it'll be second and very short for Kiski. Indians now under 8.5 minutes to go before this game is officially in the books. Chin split far right. Scott looking that way, looks under. Pass intended for Matt Frederick. Now bringing up third and a yard for Kiski.
The pass to Frederick.
Frank, I'm surprised Kiski didn't go deep on that play, Bob.
Coverage by Livingston.
Yeah, kind of a quick route, and I don't know. Kiski doing a nice job running the ball. They still have their starters in the football game, and obviously nothing for them to lose. We mentioned their record coming in. They were 2-6 overall, soon to be 2-7, and they had yet to win in 5 Quad East Conference games.
First man through his Baglio as he did on the first touchdown run, and he gets another. Baglio this time 45 yards on the touchdown. And the Penn Indians lead is now 39
from
to 13.
Yards out for the score.
And Bob, this is much like last season when the Indians went up 42-0 on Kiski. They scored two late touchdowns.
Right, and it's kind of just, all it does is make a deceiving score, and gives Kiski an advantage when Penn Hills had a big stat advantage. It's just going to take a little bit away from that. And for the second half, Baglia's had it. 2 carries, 67 yards, and 2 TDs.
And Sean Arnold's
kick
is good.
Is good. The score.
As we're in the Baglio mode.
39, Kiski Area.
So it's now 39-14 with 8:01 to go in the fourth quarter. The Cavaliers come off the field trying to get the fans into the game. Kind of tough when you're down by 25.
Brown, deep for Penn Hills. Arnold to kick off for
So Nick Brown standing at his own 10. See if the ball makes it that far. I doubt it. As Corey Connors, one of the first men up front, says the ball is coming his way. And he's right. The ball's still loose on the turf, but Kiski comes up with it. Cavaliers pull the onside kick, and they get the ball back at the 40-yard line.
the onside kick.
The ball got through Connors and Booterball.
Joseph of Kiski Area.
To Scott Caravlan. And just laid there on the turf. Jumping on it was Ryan Such. So now the Indians with a different look on the defensive line. Seeing Caravlan, Booterball. Also up there's Randy Parker on the line of scrimmage. Quick look in. Ball's incomplete. Jeff Jackson in at quarterback now for the Cavaliers. Oh, it seems kind of odd. They throw the onside kick and they take out the starting quarterback.
Well, not exactly. We've seen Jackson. He has had playing time throughout the year, so not exactly like he has needs to get the primetime experience, but they put him in now. We thought maybe with the way that things were going, we would have seen him earlier in the game. The onside kick, Penn Hills with no one up there considering a hands team. They were all linemen, and they got a bit confused, and Kiski picked up the onside kick. They're trying to get some positives out of this game also.
Cavaliers go back to the ground game. Vance Gunn picks up 5.
Tackled by
Now
Livingston.
3rd and 5 for the Cavaliers. Clock continues to run, approaching 7 minutes to go in the game. Jackson in a quarterback. Number 31 is Joe Cherafisi. And it's Gunn, and it's Cherafisi as the first man through, as they tried on the 2 touchdown runs. Not much going there, but it was close to a first down. Cavaliers going for it, obviously, on 4th down.
Livingston in on the tackle.
Flags fly as Ramon Lewis jumps off sides from the left defensive end position. And that'll give the Cavaliers a first down. Clock approaching 5:50 to go in the 4th quarter. And we've seen one play since the clock read 8:01. Jackson back to pass, looking downfield, wide open. At the 5-yard line was Steve Litz, with the pass overthrown.
It was terribly wide open, and kind of the pass would have maybe been overturned anyway, but Litz stopped running his pattern.
2nd down, 10.
Of course, that might be a little chalked up inexperience. If he keeps running, he may have been able to run under that. I doubt it, though. Jackson's pass definitely too far.
Jackson going to throw again, rolling to his right. This time the pass is underthrown. Attempted for Ray Roche. It's now 3rd down.
The pass to right, incomplete. Coverage by Poston.
Craig Gilmer coming into the defensive unit now. Augie Livingston still in there at linebacker. Jackson, quick drop, throws to the near side. The ball pulled in. Still on his feet, still running. Finally brought down is Andre Webb. But Webb will be short of the first down. We're going 4th down now for Kiski.
Tackled by Cole.
So we approach 5 minutes to go in the game.
It'll be 4th down, 2.
Oh, 4th, and it looks like
on the Penn 20-yard line.
Ball placed just inside the 21. And it's Cherafisi, who's still on his feet, breaks a tackle, gets inside the 5. And it's brought down close to the goal line at the 1. It'll be 1st and goal for Kiski.
Cherafisi.
The Cavaliers about to make it look respectable. Ball will be marked at the 2.
Kiski, the ball on the Penn Hills 1-yard line.
Cherafisi and Gunn in the I formation behind Jackson at quarterback. Pitch this time to Gunn. Gunn crosses down near the goal line. He'll be short.
Gunn.
Something about the half-yard line.
Cole on the tackle.
Justin Cole stopping Gunn short of the goal line. Clock continues. Down to 3.5 to go, fourth quarter. Indians up by 25 with the Cavaliers knocking on the door. And Jackson will keep it and gets in for the touchdown. Jeff Jackson, 1 yard. 6 points. Cavaliers now trail 39 to 20 with 3:18 to go. Fourth quarter. And Bob, if Kiski gets the ball again, do we dare say the A defense?
No, see, you're going to run the risk of putting someone back in there who's cold. I would doubt it. Penn Hill's coaching staff. No, if they dominated this game and then they kept the starters in either way, they would have just blown it way more wide open. Kiski getting all these points in garbage time as Arnold misses the extra point.
The kick by Arnold, wide.
So the Cavaliers still trail the Indians by 19
Penn Hill,
with 3:18 to go in the game.
Kiski Area,
And I'm sure we'll see another onside kick.
And now you see who's in the front line this time for Penn Hills. Jeremy George is one of the men up there. Also, B.J. DiNatale. These would be members of the hands team.
Ronnie Graham also.
Ronnie Graham also.
It's the first team receiving unit coming in because you look downfield, it's Strader and Thompson. See Germany and Livingston in.
DiNatale, George, Hoggy Livingston, Corey Connors.
Arnold.
And on the far side of the field is Chris Zoller.
Yeah, Chris Zoller is the man I was trying to see in the binoculars.
The ball went Corey Connors' way last time when he was on the near side of the field.
That second line, Germany, is also there. Haddon and Scott Caravlaner in the second line. So more of a hands team look this time, as in last time. Penn Hills just had their linemen up there blocking.
Strader and Livingston at the 20. The ball booted. And it'll be taken by Strader at the 23-yard line. And Strader looks to get to the outside on the near side of the field. Breaks one tackle, gets by another man, and crosses over the 42-yard line. Ball scoots out, but the play whistle dead.
Strader. Tripped up by
The hands team does their job.
Trudgeon.
The Indians get the ball back. Clock runs near 3 minutes to go. Fourth quarter.
First down, Penn Hills.
Each team with
on
2
the
times
Penn
out
Hills
left.
42-yard line.
Expect the Indians just run.
They did the first down here and there, and they could wrap it up. They have a 19-point lead and 2 minutes 45 seconds on the turning clock away from Quad East title for the Penn Hills Indians.
DJ Berry in a quarterback.
Brown.
And again, it's Nick Brown.
Tackled by Cherapisi.
From a pickup of 5 yards.
Aside from one carry here in the second half, it's been all Nick Brown. Eric Haddon had one carry.
Again, it's Nick Brown who bounces off the pile at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a game of 3.
Brown. Stewart.
He's in the backfield with Curtis Crawford, the 5'9", 145-pound sophomore.
And Fox in on the tackle.
So everyone getting the PT tonight. Haddon comes back in. Crawford goes out.
Nick Brown over 100 yards and another 100-yard rusher. Nick Brown at about 112.
And Nick Brown again bounces off. He'll be short of the first down, but close. Be about 2 yards short. Give him another yard on the carry.
Brown. Tackled by Cherapisi.
So now 4th down for the Indians.
This will be it here, first down, and that would be the ball game.
So the clock continues to run. The Indians can run off about another 20 seconds. As we're at 55 seconds to go, fourth quarter.
It'll be fourth down.
So the Indians may just try to draw Kiski offside, take the delay and punt. No, they take the snap, and it's Nick Brown who gets the first down. Nick Brown picks up 4. But more importantly, the first down with 39 seconds to go, fourth quarter. The Indians might need to run 1. All they got to do is fall on it, and the game's over. DJ Berry pitches to Haddon over the left side. Haddon gains maybe a yard. As we hit 5 seconds to go, fourth quarter, and that'll do it. Buzzer about to sound. There it goes. And the Penn Hills Indians are the 1995 Quad East champions. Final score, the Penn Hills Indians 39, Kiski 20, in a game not as close as the score would say.
Final score.
Really back to wrap things up. You're watching Penn Hills Indians football 95.
20.
At the historic Davis Field in Vandergrift, the Penn Hills Indians making a bit of history of their own as they defeat the Kiski Cavaliers tonight by a score of 39-20. And Bob Orquist, the Indians with the win, clinch the 1995 Quad East Championship.
We talked about it. That was one of their goals coming in. You stay focused, and you can clinch the Quad East tonight. And they did it with a resounding victory. Now the score 39-20 may look a little closer, but Penn Hills ran up a 39-0 lead. As a matter of fact, before Kiski Area put their 20 unanswered points on the board. But an impressive first half, and Indians had their way with Kiski in the first half. And we seen a lot of second and third teamers come in. And as a matter of fact, the second team offense, or the 1A, as we are want to call it, they got a touchdown before Kiski was able to put up their points in the end. But the key is the goal was to come in and get a victory tonight, no matter how you got it, and clinch the Quad East, and that's what happened.
The Indians roll up to a 39-0 lead, but still for the second week in a row, neither Victor Strader or Dwayne Thompson rushed for over 100 yards.
Well, neither Victor nor Dwayne carried the ball in the second half. 6 carries for Strader in the first half, and 5 for Thompson, and both had over 60 yards. But in the second half, it was Nick Brown and his banner for down, 117 yards on 21 carries, and he had a second touchdown and also a 2-point conversion. So he did a nice job on the ground, but definitely a well-deserved rest for every starter out there. And aside from Garrett Livingston, who played most of the second half defensively, everyone else got a much-needed break.
I think if you're going to look at one player that really turned this game into the tide of the Penn Hills Indians, was Damian Germany.
Definitely Damian Germany with a very, very impressive second quarter, almost like a 30-second span in the second quarter. Victor Strader running for a touchdown, fumbles at the 1, the ball goes into the end zone. Germany fights, gets the ball, gets his first touchdown. 30 seconds later, he picks off a pass, runs it down the sideline about 34 yards for his second touchdown. And that just turned the momentum in Penn Hills' factor. And then the very next drive, he came from his slot back position, his wing back position, and had a nice run of 17 yards. So a very, very fine game tonight for Damian Germany.
Also an interception in the end zone.
Yeah, an interception in the end zone.
Set up another
also.
Penn Hills Indian touchdown. So Damian Germany, a heck of a game tonight, and the Indians moving the ball all around. They had the motivation coming into tonight's game to get the victory, to clinch the Quad East. Motivation next week against Gateway.
Well, obviously a perfect season, a perfect regular season of 10-0. And also the #1 ranking. You go 10-0, they would be the only undefeated Quad A team. There'd be no doubt that they would get the #1 seed in the playoffs, and that's their motivation right there. And of course, it still is a Quad East game, so there's a little bit of rivalry as you get every year. But that's the obvious motivation, and they're going to shoot for that. Obviously, 10-0 looks pretty darn good.
And with next Friday night being senior night usually on the last home game of the year for the seniors, it will not be their last home game of the year.
It's true, because in the first round of the playoffs, Penn Hills now as a Quad East or Quad A champion of one of the conferences, they will get a home game. So Penn Hills next week will have Gateway, and then the following week, in week 1 of the playoffs, they will have a home. They will host one of the second-place teams, and of course, with the way the WPL does things, we won't know who that is.
Who knows?
And there's still a lot of possibilities also out there. So that's 2 weeks away. The only thing for sure is they will play at home. But we don't know against who. But they got to look. They can't look past Gateway next week.
With a victory tonight, the Indians gain the Quad East Conference title for 1995. Also get the home playoff game and go into next week against Gateway. looking to go 10-0 on the regular season. Once again, from Vandergrift, the final score, Penn Hills Indians 39, Kiski Area Cavaliers 20. Bob Workwith, I'm Bill Navarre. We'll see you again Friday night at Andrew Uhas Stadium, senior night, the Penn Hills Indians and the Gateway Gators. You've been watching Penn Hills Indians Football 95. From Mansion Park Stadium in Altoona, Pennsylvania, this evening the Penn Hills Indians take on the Lower Dolphin Falcons for the PIAA State High School Football Championship. Along with my broadcast partner, Bob Workwith, I'm Bill Navarre. Great to have you along on a chilly Saturday evening here in the mountains of central Pennsylvania. And Bob, tonight it's the 16th week of the Penn Hills Indians football season, and tonight literally is their Super Bowl.
Definitely the Super Bowl. This is what it said when it started exactly a year ago. They started lifting weights last December 9th, and this was their goal in mind. Of course, you build it up. You have a stepping stone of so many goals. Quad East Championship, undefeated season, WPIL Championship, and those have all gone by the wayside. Penn Hills has achieved all those goals, but the big goal to being the #1 team in the state of Pennsylvania in the Quad A ranks and the Quad A classifications. And tonight it is the Penn Hills Indians taking on the Lower Dolphin Falcons, and should be a good game on tap.
The Penn Hills Indians 14-0 on the season. The Lower Dolphin Falcons are also 14-0, and that's the way you want a championship game to be.
Indeed, coming down to it's actually A great matchup. If you look at its similarities, you mentioned both 14-0, and both of these teams like to run the football. Both of these teams average close to the same amount of points, 31.4 for Lower Dauphin. Penn Hills is at 27.4, and they allow them the same amount of points. Both teams have pitched 4 shutouts, including 1 in the playoffs, and it's different in District 3. That's where Lower Dauphin comes from. They play the District 3 playoffs, and then they have 2 rounds. Quarterfinal and a semifinal round of the PIAA playoffs, whereas the WPIL championship, where Penn Hills defeated Upper St. Clair, that is actually the PIAA quarterfinal game. And Penn Hills, of course, was victorious last week over Erie McDowell, 28-0 to get here. And it was last Friday evening. It was Lower Dauphin 33, Plymouth White Marsh 6. That's how the Falcons got here.
The Lower Dauphin Falcons are led by their quarterback, Brian Broadwater. They got an excellent running game in J.D. Schumann and Sharon Schertzer, and also some excellent linemen, the Twin Towers, Brett and Brad Leichleitner.
Yeah, the Leichleitners on the offensive line will do the job. One is a guard, one is a tackle. Both are 6'2", 6'3", and they go about 240, 250 pounds, and it's going to be a tough task for them tonight against Penn Hills. You mentioned the quarterback is Brian Broadwater. He is coming in completing 58% of his passes, 1,302 yards passing on the season so far, and he's received interest from some Ivy League schools, so that speaks well of his intelligence.